right, so I'm going to hop straight into the game. As Josh touched on, Planetside 2, massively multiplayer first-person shooter game. What that means to us is that we took all of the rich, compelling elements that you would expect to see in a massively multiplayer game, things like deep character advancement, really cool character personalization, and we married that to the exciting, visceral combat experience that you can only get in a first-person shooter. So all of the modern first-person shooter bells and whistles that people who've been playing these games for the last 10 years would come to expect and come to enjoy, we have in Planetside 2, and we back all that up by having an incredibly deep, incredibly rich gameplay experience. So Planetside 2 is massive scale combat between 3 different unique factions. Each of the factions has unique vehicles, unique weapons, unique tactics that they can take a hold of. So this is our world here. I'm right next to a biolab, which is one of our facilities. Our facilities are basically capture points, and each one of our facilities that's a capture point is the size of a map in a standard FPS game. I'm going to hop up here, grab a vehicle really quick. You guys can see I have my custom loadout for this particular vehicle already set up. So I'm just going to jump right into it and then give you guys a flyby of this facility. So I'm on the new conglomerate right now. And the new conglomerate are kind of they're the ragtag group. They take whatever they can get. They use old mining equipment, repurposed experimental weaponry, things like that to be able to get the job done. There's 2 other factions, the Terran Republic, which are the most professional military group of them all, and the Vanu Sovereignty, which use a lot of plundered alien technology, and they basically are all about trying to get these alien artifacts and study them. So like I said, this is a biolab here. It's one of our bases. It's an infantry capture point. It's pretty huge. This is the size of standard modern warfare type level, so very large. Anyway, our whole continent is dozens of square kilometers, and it does support thousands of players being able to play simultaneously. So I'm going to start flying over right now to where we have some other players already set up, and I'm not going to talk too much while I'm doing this because it requires a lot of concentration, and I don't think you guys will be very interested if you just see me crashing over and over again. Huh? Better? So here we see some Vanu troops that are set up. Oh God, I'm already getting shot. Here we see some Vanu troops that are already set up down below. They're using their Mag Rider tanks. That's their faction-specific tank. I'm using a faction-specific aircraft that I've spec'd out to be mostly an anti-ground vehicle. So I have, for instance, really good rocket pods that are quite effective at taking out ground targets. When I'm flying around the world here, one of the interesting things to note about Planetside, one of the things that really sets it apart from other games, besides just the scale and the idea of having these enormous battles, is the persistent nature of it. This map is persistent. When someone captures a point on the map, it remains theirs until somebody else comes and takes it back. So one of the things that we've done to support that is we added a day-night cycle so that the world feels like it's constantly changing. I'm going to speed it up really quick for you guys so you guys can just get an idea of what a day-night cycle in a game like this actually does. And I'll just get back to flying while it's changing. All of our vehicles use real-time physics. We use the NVIDIA PhysX engine for physics, and it's allowed us to really do some awesome things with our vehicle mechanics, making them obey real-world rules. In the original Planetside, you couldn't do barrel rolls, for instance. All the kind of things that are going to make you guys a lot more sick. You can see here that the time of day is changing in the background while we're doing this because I sped it up. So you can go all the way through to a sunset, which looks really amazing with the light scattering stuff that Forge Light allows us to do. But it also changes to nighttime. And when it changes to nighttime, things like night vision goggles, night vision scopes, flashlights on your weapons, all those sort of things are important. And the battle really changes in terms of what's available. So we're connected to a server. We're connected to one of our live servers right now, actually, with a few people in San Diego, as well as the people who are behind me here. So I think we've got about 50 people on the server right now that are mostly back in San Diego, and several of them that are back behind me here. Sorry, I'm going to readjust this microphone really quick. Is that better? Okay. All right. Now I'm going to play for a little bit. Ty's sick of hearing my voice. So I can spec out this Reaver in a bunch of different ways. If I wanted to make it look like an air-to-air fighter craft, it would be easy for me to throw air-to-air missiles on it, put flares on it, and then suddenly it's a dogfighting craft. Having it the way it is right now as a close air support gunship is a way that just makes sense when there's a big tank battle going on like this. And we've been focusing a lot of attention on making sure that our air-to-air, air-to-ground, ground-to-air, ground-to-ground, all those different types of gameplay that Planetside uniquely supports all work really well, function well together. And I think you guys can kind of get an idea of what that's like with 30 people on the server here. But just kind of imagine what it'll be like when there are 300 people here or 1,000 people here playing in this battle. You guys are seeing me, I said I was going to shut up and then I kept talking, huh? Sorry. You guys are seeing me fly over these different capture points too. All these little outposts that are out here are all capture points. They all have areas within them that I can go capture them, and then I own the region that they're sitting on. And owning that region gives me access to the resources that it's sitting on. So it creates a competitive landscape, essentially, where players are going to try to acquire resources. Oh, that blew it up. They're going to acquire resources that they can then use to change their weapons, change their customizations, all those different things that you would want to do in a shooter, like unlock different weapons, unlock different ammo for your weapons. You're able to do that using the resources that you earn from playing the capture game. I'm going to turn the client time off real quick. You guys want nighttime or daytime? What's cooler? Nighttime? All right. So you can see the middle of the night makes the rockets look a little cooler. All of our lighting is all deferred, so we have lots of really cool point light effects on all of our tracers, all of our weapons, all cast lights. You can see here, this continent, the area that I'm flying around in is very much like a Highlands area. But this continent actually has a few different regions.